All right, guys, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel. I have another budget knife from our friends at White Mountain Knives. Justin sent this one along, and I'll be sending it back to him. It was a loaner, and I'm really, really thankful that you guys use my code, which is KnivesFAST at White Mountain Knives, because it allows him to get more customers, and then in exchange, I get to see some knives, and that is super awesome. And I buy some from him, like the Miguron Valona and others from time to time, but this one is a loaner. I'm sitting over here playing with the Valona. Look at that. Here, you can look at it. It's the review's coming up on this one as well, the Miguron Valona. Very, very cool. All right, so this is the Kizer Squidward, but first say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man and Login TV, and let's get started now. Kizer Squidward. Now, there's two things going on here, and you guys are saying, why in the world did he get this one in? This is the Squidward, an Enzo design, which is really cool. 154 cm, black G10, steel liner, 2.82-inch blade. Now, two things going on. Number one, it's a front flipper, and number two, it's a little tiny guy. So those are two things I typically stay away from, front flipper only, and a really small. But this is a great look. This is something that checks a box for me. I like a knife that the blade is mostly concealed down in the handle because that allows you to carry it very, very easily. And in this case, this made a great secondary or backup knife, fifth pocket knife for me. Now, we'll talk about some other things with this, but let's take a look at it. You've got this black G10. Again, another reason I was interested, nice contoured G10 scales. You got this white pivot collar here, and it kind of looks like a squid's eye there. And then on this side, you've got your tooling, and it's done the same way. Typical Kizer pocket clip, very deep. The only thing sticking out is this very interesting lanyard loop made out of the liner, which, by the way, the liners are pretty thin. Now, they are... Their line, what's the word? Oh, good Lord. See, I blank on words every once in a while. They're flush, thank you, that's the word, with the G10 scales. You do have a phenomenal cutout for the lock bar. Very, very well done there. I like the shape of it, and the way it feels in your hand. Very, very nice. Great shape to this. It reminds me kind of a little bit, now it's smaller, so don't get me wrong, in the Latvin Mini from Kizer and how it feels in the hand. Now, this is an interesting drop point blade. You got that great swedge at the top, and I love the amount of belly towards the tip. That is great. Now, I know some people don't like a high tip. I do. I think this is a great, you got plenty of flat back here, plenty of belly up here. You do have the Kizer logo there on the grind. It is a flat grind in this black coating. 154 cm steel, Squidward, Enzo design, and there is your crazy long number they put on the blade. But guys, in the hand now, let's talk about this. You've got lengthy jimping here. So this is a win for me because it's jimping where jimping should be. It should be where I'm going to use it. And right there is where my thumb is. And you might have smaller hands and want to be back here, or you might have bigger hands and you want to be up here. And that jimping is going to be there. And you can get out here like this, and that swedging is finished great. Now, this is a very thin blade. We'll talk about that in a minute. Very, very much dig that. There is weight reduction inside the liners there. Very, very well done. Lockup wise, it's good. You're about a 30 there, I would say. You are on bearings, which will be proven shortly. Great access to lock bar. Moves over really easily. There's plenty of relief there. Moves over very easily. And then, guys, in typical Kizer fashion, this guy wants to go home. This is a phenomenal, look at that. When I took my finger off of the tab back here, it just wants to, the action is great. Now, dead centered. Let's see what we got for lockup. As far as left to right, top to bottom, nothing. There is nothing. It is solid, very, very solid, very well done. Now, speaking of well done, all the edges are finished well, and it feels great in the hand. Now, it is, believe it or not, just a four-finger knife for me. because you can come up here, there's no flipper tab, which is an advantage of having a front flipper. Now I've got this spot to choke up. So you know what? This really worked for me as a secondary. And I gave it to my wife a couple times to cut some packages open, and she was comfortable because she just typically just pulls a knife open anyway. So in this case, I just told her to just sort of do this and then pull it open, and that worked for her. But it's not ideal. Now, front flip, see, it's me. So even when I was about to say it's pretty good, it's still just an awkward movement for me. And I just don't do a great job with it. Now, does that make it a bad knife? Nope. It just means I'm awkward. But now the tab, you do have to keep your hand back because that tab does come, you can see right there. So you don't want to be choked way up here when you do that like this because you're going to get yourself. So you got to be back a little bit like this and flick it open. But that's pretty typical for most front flippers. I do like this lanyard hole. Again, I'm not going to use a lanyard, but you know what? It doesn't bother me that it's a little bit longer. It actually gave me something to help pull the knife out of the pocket. So not bad at all. You do have, it's interesting, you do have a lanyard post back here. So maybe I'm misunderstanding what this guy is. I thought it was a lanyard, but it's interesting that you would have a lanyard hole here and a lanyard post there. So I find that very, very interesting. Now let's talk specs on this crazy little squid here. Whoops. Come on, squid. Stay there. All right, good. So this guy, again, they are available as we speak at White Mountain Knives. Let me make sure the other one is. The black on black like this is available. And then the black with a satin blade is also available. And they're both $69. And this is N690 steel. Pretty good steel for me. I know a lot of people don't care for this steel. Lefty. But, you know, I don't know. I haven't had enough N690 knives for me to long-term use and to tell you what I think. So, you know, it cuts well. Let's see. We might as well cut a piece of paper since this one comes from White Mountain and wasn't a pass-around knife. It is, like I said, very thin. Well, if I can, but it just wants to cut. That was me. That was not the knife. But you can see, just wants to cut. It is a phenomenal edge, and the geometry is great. Congratulations, Kizer, on the action. I mean, overall, this knife is just well built. Now, it is 6.77 inches, so just under 7. 2.83 on the blade length. 0.110 on the blade thickness. 154. Wait, that says 154 cm. I thought this said N690. Okay, guys, I just lied earlier. This is 154. So, wow, 69 is really a good price for this then. I apologize for that. I guess I made an assumption there. This is 154 cm, and I really apologize for leading you guys astray there. Somebody was probably yelling at me because I know I showed the box and I said 154 early on, and then I went back and said S90V. So, I mean, not S90V, N690. So this is 154 cm. It is designed by Anzo. It is only 2.54 ounces. And so I'm just going to say, guys, the handle, where's the handle length? They don't give me the handle length. All right, well, let's say if that's just under, so it's just under 4 inches, I would say, on that handle, which, you know, you can see I get all 4 fingers on there, no problem whatsoever. So I'm going to give this thing, it came in as one that I didn't really think I would care for, but I got because it was a budget option, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested. I'm trying to do more of those, but if it wasn't just a front flipper, I would have one of these. If it had some secondary way for me to open it like a thumb stud, or, you know, but there's no room for a thumb stud. So, you know, in this case, it is what it is, and it's a very decent secondary knife for me, and I really actually dug this knife, and I'm very grateful that I got to check it out. So there you go. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you liked it. And if you're not subscribed, check out the KnivesFAST channel. And thanks, everybody, for your support. And thank you for watching the KnivesFAST